Hey friends, what's up? Ash here with Gents. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're in the midst of summer, and summertime means fresh fragrance time, and fresh fragrance time means overspraying time. Now, I'm not a massive proponent myself of overspraying really powerful fragrances because I think the fragrances are already doing the job, and I don't need to choke out everybody around me just to let them know, hey man, I got on a fragrance. But during the summertime, with fresh fragrances, you can spray them on as heavy as you want. And most of the time, it's a good thing because you're gonna get a little more performance, a little more projection, a little more gusto. And oftentimes with those fresh fragrances, they don't come across cloying. So people aren't gonna mind if they pick up that fragrance. So let's jump into it, guys. Let's talk about 10 different scents that I don't mind overspraying like crazy all summer long. All right, we got some fragrances that are niche. We got some fragrances that are designer, some expensive, some cheap. And actually more cheap than expensive, because if it's cheap, I don't care. I'll spray it on 55 times. And before we jump into the first one, you know what time it is. It's code time. Gents8 is the code for JomaShop.com. It'll save you $8 off any order over 110 bucks. A lot of cheapies now are actually cheaper on JomaShop, and also some niche ones too. And then TwistedLily.com, niche fragrance website du jour. Gents10 is the code. Save yourself 10% off the entire site. Fragrance number 1. This is Hugo Reversed. Ow, that just hit my friggin' thumbnail. Now, Hugo Reversed is a fragrance that I was not in love with when it came out, and that's because at retail, it's not really a very good buy. There are a lot of fragrances that at retail you should go for over this one, but at discounters for about 30 some odd dollars, it's pretty good. A lot of people have compared this to the smell of Raja Parfum's Elysium, which is obviously much more expensive than this one. Does it smell like Elysium? Sort of. But if you don't want to spend all that much money, this is a much better way to go than the Raja Parfum. So there is that. It's citrusy, it's fresh, it's a little bit aromatic as well. Slight touch of vetiver in the dry down, giving it a little bit of woodiness. Really easy to wear, great casual scent, kind of an out of the shower type fragrance. Hugo Reversed, spray this on like mad. And then another super cheapie, Nautica Voyage. Yep, good old Nautica Voyage, the classic cheapie. It has green notes, including green apple in the opening. It's got a little bit of a floral feel, an aquatic feel as well. Nautica Voyage, for the price point, is a great buy and a cheapie that just about everybody should smell or even own. I can still remember getting my hands on this fragrance for the very first time because everybody was telling me, hey, this one right here, you gotta find it at TJ Maxx. It costs next to nothing, smells awesome for the price. So I had my eyes open for it, picked it up as soon as I could. Thankfully, I got the older style bottle because I got this years ago, but it didn't let me down. Nautica Voyage, for so many guys out there, is still a compliment monster. I know you might not think of it as one because it's just lowly old Nautica Voyage, you know, but it works really well. People are drawn to this stuff. And so that one I feel very safe spraying on heavily. And the performance actually from my bottle is not bad. It's not like a super weak performing aquatic. It's just the type of fragrance that's so safe. You can spray it on like crazy. Let's go with the niche one next with Millésime Impérial from Creed. Now, people are very opinionated with the House of Creed. They're also very opinionated with the House of Creed's summertime offerings or warm weather offerings. So you've got Millésime Impérial, you have Royal Water, you have Arolfa, you have Virgin Island Water. Some people would also say Silver Mountain Water. So you got all these different fragrances, and people seem to pick sides and decide this is the one. This is the best Creed summertime fragrance and the other ones suck. Maybe they don't take it that far, but actually some people do. I like bits and pieces from each one of the summertime Creed fragrances, so I don't really pick sides all that much, but I will say the one that has kind of stuck with me the most is actually this one. I really like the salted watermelon sort of feeling that it gives you when you first spray this one on, this muskiness, this clean feeling, but also with a good amount of class. Something about this has always just worked really well for me. My bottle is from 2013 with the old school atomizer that I do miss quite a lot. Millésime Impérial, one of those fragrances that even though it's very easy to wear, I wear it for myself just because I like it so much. And so this one, I'm gonna spray it on heavily just so I can catch whiffs of it all day. From there, another designer, Versace Man Eau Fraiche. a forgotten line of fragrances from Versace at this point. There was the original Versace Man, which is now discontinued, which for a good amount of time was one of the better cheapy fragrances that you could buy, in my opinion. It's not as cheap now, unfortunately, but it used to be. And then we've got the flanker, Eau Fraiche, which smells absolutely nothing like Versace Man. It has nothing to do with it other than they share the same, frankly, ugly bottle style. I've always hated this bottle. I thought of all the Versace bottles, of which most of them look really good, this one was kind of hideous in a way. The fragrance is very nice though. It has a star fruit note, which you don't see very often at all, and it smells similar to Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue for the ladies. That said, it doesn't smell like a lady's fragrance. It's like a more masculine take on Light Blue for women, kind of. And to be fair, a lot of guys actually wear Light Blue for women. It's got a tropical, citrusy feel, good amount of sweetness in here, so easy to pull off. Versace Man Eau Fraiche, a little bit like Nautica Voyage, doesn't have terrible performance, but it's that type of scent that's so nice and so pleasant, so pleasing, you can get away with spraying this on like crazy. Now something with performance that actually is a little bit subpar on my skin. Yeah, we're trying to be nice here. It's subpar. It's Choo Man Ice. Now this is very inexpensive, and so I give it a pass for not having the greatest performance because it is cheap. So you can spray it on and spray it on and spray it on, etc., etc. And it doesn't matter if you run through your bottle really quickly because the next bottle is not going to cost you all that much. Whole lot of citrus in this one, whole bunch. So you've got multiple citrus notes in the top, giving you this refreshing, icy lemonade sort of feel, similar or reminiscent of Dior Homme cologne, which is much more expensive than this. As it dries down, you've got some woodiness, some musk, some ambroxan that comes out. Great bang for your buck. Choo Man Ice is one of the best fragrances on the cheap side of things for a very hot summer day. Back to niche, Neo from Xerjoff. Pretty pricey, but worth it. This has one of the best citrus openings of any fragrance, period. Period. That means I'm saying it with emphasis. It's not just citrus, it's a little bit of a green fragrance. You have Neroli in here as well. Very clean, very fresh. Pops of spices as the fragrance dries, bits of woodiness as well. Neo is one of those fragrances that just steals your breath almost. It smells that good. That actually sounds bad that a fragrance would steal your breath, but you know what I'm saying. Now this one you may not feel quite as good about as you're drenching yourself in the fragrance because every time you spray the bottle, you're like, okay, that's 50 cents, that's $1, okay, $1.75, all right, cool. I just sprayed out $2 worth of fragrance. Whereas with Choo Man Ice, you spray it out a whole bunch and you go, oh, that was 10 cents, whatever. Doesn't matter though, Neo smells good enough that just like Millésime Impérial, I'm drowning in that stuff. That way I can smell it as long as possible, and other people can too. Switch things up a little bit, going with 4711 Acqua, Colonia, Blood Orange, and Basil. Now to be fair, when it comes to 4711, basically all of them you're gonna wanna overspray if you want people to be able to pick it up, if you want it to last, if you wanna be able to smell it yourself, because these are eau de colognes and they're not strong ones. But they are inexpensive and they do come in large bottles. So it gives you a little more to play with. And look there right on the front here, it says that Blood Orange and Basil is stimulating. So there's that. With these fragrances, these 4711 Acqua Colonias, the notes for the fragrance are pretty much exactly what it says on the front. So Blood Orange and Basil. Citrusy, green, a little bit herbal. That's what you're in for here. The quality is actually surprisingly good though for the price. Even though it's an eau de cologne, even though it's very cheap, it smells nice. The quality is good. It doesn't come across abrasive. It doesn't come across chemically. It's well done. But as I said, when introducing that, it is a 4711. You know what you're in for with those. You're not in for big time performance. So with that scent or sense of that ilk, spray it on as much as you want. Up next, another cheapie from Salvatore Ferragamo, Acqua Essenziale. And this is just the original, not the blue, not the Colonia, just the OG. So with this one, you're dealing with performance that is so-so. It's not fantastic, but it's not the worst thing on earth. It's better than the 4711, but it's worse than a lot of other things out there. It is inexpensive though, and so you can spray to your heart's content. It's got sea notes, mint, and lavender, very fresh, slightly sweet. It's a little bit vaguely reminiscent of something like Bleu de Chanel, but without as much depth, without the incense. a little bit lower quality, maybe a little bit sweeter, but it is very easy to wear and it is very inexpensive compared to the Bleu de Chanel. So it's actually not all that bad. Potential compliment puller, you can wear it just about anywhere, anytime. And because it's inexpensive, you can spray it a lot. Let's go with something a little more expensive next from Tom Ford, Neroli Portofino Acqua. Although really it could have also been just Neroli Portofino, but Neroli Portofino Acqua specifically. Now you're never gonna believe me here, but Neroli Portofino Acqua smells similar to Neroli Portofino. Yes, I know. Pick your jaws up off the floor, put your mind back together because it's been blown, but Neroli Portofino is similar to Neroli Portofino Acqua. Yep. So Neroli, one of the main notes in the fragrance, it has a soapiness, a cleanliness to it, freshness, a little bit green, citrusy off the top, musky in the base, and with more of an aquatic freshness in this one as compared to the original. So easy to pull off, smells so nice, so well done. Neroli Portofino Acqua, you could probably just about dump this whole bottle on yourself and you'd be good to go. I mean, Tom Ford's own advertisements for Neroli Portofino basically just has a naked dude and a naked girl just splashing themselves with an oversized bottle of Neroli Portofino. And that's kind of realistic with just how you could do the fragrance if you wanted to. And then last, we're going to talk about one from Hugo Boss, which is a fragrance that I myself like a lot. It's Boss Bottled Tonic. And this one essentially takes that Boss Bottled DNA, that cinnamon, that apple, some people would say an apple pie kind of scent profile, and freshens it up and makes it wearable for spring and summer. So you've got an interesting fragrance here. You have over on this side, apple and cinnamon, this warm spiciness and sweetness. And on the other side, you have fresh ginger, you have citrus, and they kind of meet in the middle. So it's fresh and sweet and warm and spicy and citrusy and clean and all this stuff all together. It is a little divisive. Some people don't like that change. They think that it's just kind of a watered down Boss Bottled and don't have much interest in it. But I actually think it's really cool and I like what it's doing here. Always have enjoyed Boss Bottled Tonic. And so this one I'll spray on quite a bit, if for no other reason than just because I can kind of get away with it with this one and I like the way it smells. So there you have it, 10 different fragrances during the summer. I'll overspray. These aren't the only 10 fragrances of this ilk, of this style during the summer. I'll go a little heavy with them, why not? Let me know in the comments some of the fragrances that you guys will overspray this summer or the spring, you know, warm weather. And as always, stay safe out there. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.